This is Maginoni, and we're going to do something different with our good, the bad, disappointing. It's actually going to be the good, the bad, disappointing convergence style. So let's get on with the good. Alright, now let's get on with our bad and disappointing. Basically, that is what we shall just call this convergence run. This is a really good mixture of bad and disappointing. This is this really, I mean, I know like to throw this term a lot, but in all honesty, all of these books here, it's really fan fiction. It relates to absolutely nothing. It's what if, could have's, maybes, battles, and they're battles for no reason, and they're pairing off characters that in some cases make a little sense, and in most cases absolutely none. So let's take a quick look at what we got here. First of all, I'll address art as a whole. There's maybe some good stuff, but it's really subpar compared to what normally we get to see out of DC. Convergence number one is your basic, all right, let's just tell everybody who doesn't know what this miniseries is about what's going on, which is pretty much every reader of this book. Now, what we have is we have the survivors of Earth 2, and they end up on this planet, and they're like, what the heck is going on? Green Lantern is depowered, the Red Avatar is depowered because they don't have access to, their element, so to speak. And, like Green Lantern is not connected to the green any longer. And they're told, like, only the strong survive, blah, blah, blah. And in a sense, they're in abnormality because, in theory, their city should have collapsed. I mean, been with them. But something happened where only they came through and not their city. And that's obviously because, if you've been following World's End and Earth 2, their world got destroyed, which is, supposed to be everything else on the brink of destruction. All these other worlds appear. Surprisingly, after fighting Darkseid, none of their costumes are ruined or destroyed. They're all pretty fresh and clean, which is really surprising. And overall, this issue does do what it needs to do in the sense that it just sets everything up. Is this a well-read book? Is this something that you're really going to look at and go, oh wow, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next? Absolutely not. It does nothing for that, which is the shame. Okay, now let's look at these other disappointments. Okay, the one really good thing I will say about these books is, like, obviously they're throwing all sorts of stuff at you, and you're not. Some DC readers will know, some DC readers will have no clue what's going on, and other DC readers might need a little memory prompting. But at the very end of the book, they give you a 2-page spread to go, hey, here's a quick history about who key characters are in that particular issue. In this issue here, Arsenal's the key person. Now, this is supposed to be the nod to pre-Flashpoint, where Arsenal went through some bad times. He lost his arm, his daughter got killed, and he really went down a downward spiral, and it ended really bad. Like, they didn't really even get a chance to finish out his storyline properly because they went straight into Flashpoint. Now, in this issue here, basically what happens is the city gets captured and a dome goes up, and once that dome goes up, all superpowered people have no powers any longer. And it's basically Donna Troy, Starfire, and Arsenal are the only superheroes in this world, or the Dome City. Dome goes down, they get told about the battle to the death, and then they meet the extremists. And this is where I had to say is the art was it just became subpar bad. And of course, you have a team of extremely powerful villains versus 3 superheroes. These 3 superheroes are going to get killed. Roy's given this ultimate decision, I can either create your daughter, and you have to betray your friends, or you can fight me and then you lose your daughter forever. So he has to make a decision. So overall, this one wasn't horrible, but if you really look at the grand scheme of things, who cares? It doesn't really matter, because this has no relevance to the Teen Titans. You would have to be an old Teen Titans fan or Titans fan, I should say, who are familiar with these three characters to really give any type of hoots about it. Speed Force, this is really stupid too. It's basically you have the Flash, his two kids when he had kids, and he's like running at super speed, but at the same time he's not, which is kind of baffling, because like everybody apparently can see him dragging his kids along with him in his Speed Force. Now he gets trapped in Gotham before the dome goes down, and he's told he's got to battle it out. And in this one, he basically teams up with some cartoon character, and he's got to fight Flashpoint, Wonder Woman. And it's just kind of like, again, this is the thing. Like, if you're a New 52 reader, you're not going to know the kids. You're not going to understand everything here. And it's just kind of like even the group, the heroes that they killed, it's just like they don't even show them get killed, really. They're just dead. And he arrives in the city, he's like judged as a failure, so it's being destroyed. So it really holds no spark for me wanting to read it. And pretty much every one of these issues ends the same way. It starts the same way, ends the same way. And granted, they pretty much painted themselves into a corner with this concept, and all these books are the same. It's literally paint by numbers. It's a flow chart that all these books are following. This one you have really nasty. Let me see if it says the world that they're in. You got really. This has got to be Flashpoint. Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and they're no nonsense, and they're gonna take on Barbara Gordon, Nightwing, and Starfire's here, so she's gotta show up at some point. And it's, under normal circumstances, I'd be like, this is gonna be a kick-ass fight, but I'm just not even hyped for it. And that's the sad thing, is like I really would have liked to have seen Dick Grayson versus these Hawkmen, and it's just like, the excitement's not there, because I can kind of already see how things are going to go. With Oracle's going to start hacking the droids that the Hawkmen have, and it's just this one almost got my interest, because it's dealing with Flashpoint heroes versus Superman. Now this one actually has a lot of Flashpoint heroes, and their job is to take down Superman. And the Flashpoint Superman, who's like really frail looking, he goes after Lois. And there's like at the very end, it looks like he's killing Lois, but I know he's not. But it's for a second, as I was reading this, I was like all wrapped up into it. I was like, oh wow, Lois is in trouble. Clark's, and then I realized, wait a second, this is not New 52. This is not post New 52. This is a Superman from another time period who's going to have absolutely no relevance on what's to happen in the future. Because this storyline of Clark and Lois married with a child on the way is in no way, shape, or form going to happen in the pre-50 or post-52. So again, it's a complete throwaway book that doesn't matter at all. Justice League, who cares? That's what this book should be called. Who cares? We are the Justice League. They've picked characters that aren't even relevant anymore. Like when you think of Justice League, you should be thinking, Batman, Superman, and whatnot. No, you got Jade, Zatanna, Vixen. There's a Yellow Monkey. I'm like, I'm so done with this. And then they're fighting Flashpoint Aquaman, who has got an army of sea creatures ready to attack the city. And I'm just thinking, oh my god. You know, it's the city's crushed, but you know, what are you gonna do? You can't have all the major evil superheroes win out, and this was painful, because it's like, who cares about the characters? I mean, these are characters from another world that's not even relevant anymore. So that's what I'm saying. This has been an utter disappointment, utter. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Let me know if you guys are, if you did pick up any Convergence books that you did like. I'd be surprised if there was one or two. Don't forget, I also do the comic podcast with Comics Freaks and Geeks. That link is down below. Of some more reviews later. So until next time.